They hanging on like goose down in my coat. Float on my float on my float. I don't step, I don't walk, I don't dance, I just float, 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 float. Oh, it's Sheba, not Janelle Monet. Oh my goodness. Wow. Hello, hello, hello. It is Sheba Sunday, your favorite time of the week. Certainly part of mine. I have so many favorite times of the week. I just have a really great life. So it's awesome. Welcome. Hello. This is episode 25. Can you believe it? We're in our second year of this. First episode of the new year of 2024. This like Western one, whatever we go by. Yeah. And it's been like great in many ways for me. But like, also horrifying beyond belief and comprehension. But maybe for mortals, but like, I'm comprehending it. And it's been really interesting. Yeah. So this is episode 25. Sorry, there's a cool hawk outside my window. Just man, I'm like so lucky I get to just like ponder and experience like nature all the time and like myself and Billy. It's really cool. So this episode is called In My Hermit Era. You hear about being in one's silent era. It's kind of like that. But I actually like I've just been thinking a lot. Like I'm very lucky. I work from home. I have a job that's like really easy and like kind of difficult to lose. And, I don't have to devote too much energy to it. But it like, enables me to like pretty easily have like this really awesome house in like a safe, well resourced neighborhood with like lots of greenery and nature, and I get to be with Billy all the time. It's just like so amazing, and really great. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't have this if I wasn't supposed to like use it, right? Like, I found myself maybe not excessively in the last 3 years or so since we've been here. Um, I still want to like make our space like ours. Like we are still rocking with this amazing pink couch, which is our OG purchase for the house. But our walls are still all white. And I don't know if that's the vibe we're into these days. Like you'll see like the color scheme of Sheba Sunday has evolved. I feel like I've personally evolved, my style has evolved, my like conception of the world has evolved. So yeah, this house has got to do it too. And so I realized like, man, I'm someone who like likes to say yes. And I'm sure there was a time a couple of years ago when I told myself like, I'm going to say yes to things more. And like, I love that I'm a person who like sets out to do a thing and does it like on the first try too. And like, I'm not like too annoying about it. I mean, I think I'm not too annoying about it. Um, and like, yeah. So I realized though that like, that my natural knack for like kind of being good at stuff means that yeah, I was just like saying yes to everything. I basically I need to give people a chance to miss me. Everybody kind of knows like I'm one to support. Like you have a thing, you want to get together, like I will arrange it. I will make it work. I recognize like I have a very flexible, open schedule, and like the ability to do things, and so I really try to, you know, make myself available to people, and I think that's been really awesome, and that has got me very far in life, and I love that. But yeah, I definitely this season is, the era of Sheba pleasing, the era of being in my hermit era. Um, if you do any human design stuff, I'm a projector, and it's like a 6-2 projector, and the 2 line means you're like a hermit. Like, so you benefit a lot from time alone. And that is so real. Y'all should go look up human design because that might have sounded a little, you know, what? But it's really interesting and like surprisingly spot on. And it's been really helpful for me to like think of the world and myself and how I interact within it in that way. Yeah, it's been really cool. So, anywho, I also thought that like all my life I've like loved the idea of like being a hermit, you know, like I'm sure you have like a vision of like some old man in like the desert just like reading or something. Or also there's like sometimes like I feel like I remember this story like a not a like a fiction story that was like some like two rich dudes, one of them bet the other that they couldn't like be alone, like you could have like whatever you wanted with you but you couldn't like talk to people directly. I think he could write letters and stuff still. Anyway, it was like 10 years or something, I want to say. And like I think in that story, which was written by some white man, it was like, you know, like right before the end of the period. Maybe it was like 20 years. I don't know. But at the end of the like right before it was about to end, he like kills himself because like it was like he was like I wasted my, you know, like the years where I could have been like living my life and experiencing things, I wasted it and like for money. And like yeah, but you were probably only like 45, like, you know, like that's not necessarily any, you killed yourself. God, like men, problem solving is just not, you know, y'all strong suit, just in a like it's wild. Anyway though, I was like, when I heard that story though, I was like, what? That sounds awesome. I could have anything I wanted. Like, I would like, I love the idea of that. What would I do if I was just like, I knew at the end of like 20 years, I was going to get, I don't know, millions or something. If I just hermit up in this well-resourced house and place, like I have access to the outdoors. I can have any books, any newspapers, any like media that I wanted. And this like story was written like, you know, a while ago when they didn't have as much stuff as we do now. So like, I think I would want like access to like one person, and that would be Billy. Like he would be so like the perfect hermit buddy, and he really is. So it would be so fun, and like man, that would be awesome to get to just like do whatever I want, to be aware of what's going on in the world, but be like kind of out of the fray, or maybe like the eye of it. I'm like kind of able. I'm like protected, able to see into it, be able to observe, able to communicate my thoughts out, but like I might not be able to respond back and forth to people. I don't know how it would work. Anyway, trying to apply that kind of concept though this year. Like, you know, I've been really I've been spending a lot of time like sitting on my porch and like gazing out at nature. um and it's been like really beautiful. There's this tree, there's many trees around us, and like there's one like kind of right in front, and right now it's winter, so it's bare. And like there are these cardinals that are like bright red, and they come and they land on the tree and like do their thing, do their bird thing. Sometimes there's a squirrel, sometimes there's like another type of bird that comes around. And like I love the idea of the tree is just being itself, and all of this life comes to it. And like the tree is just like chilling, it's safe, it's like confident, it like it's doing stuff that like I can't see, that is getting it ready for, you know, it's flowering season and whatever else, you know, being a tree entails. So I just really love the idea of channeling that tree energy, that big tree energy. You know, my sex therapist years ago, like, gave me the analogy of like, if you're as big as the trees, just be as big as the trees, like don't be ashamed of how like big you are, or of how like you are, and I just feel like trees and that idea of like roots and like interconnectedness with nature has just been like coming to me a lot. Coming to me a lot. You go, tree. Thank you, baby. Right? And I actually had this idea for my vision board. I'm like plotting it out in my head. And like I have this vision. It's just gonna involve trees, and I don't think I'm gonna have people on it other than me. And it's gonna be like everything's kind of emanating from me, which is just real hermit energy. I feel, and I love it. Just like gaining my nutrients and just like being. So I'm really excited to, yeah, it's been really fun to recognize how much time I spend kind of trying to help other people's experience of things, and like cater to their needs and make them feel seen and like powerful and like celebrated, which is, I've done like a great job of that. I think, if I do say so myself. And so now I gotta like, let me take that natural ability that I have. I don't know how natural inclination and, like developed ability to be, to like please people, to understand like not just what they need, but what they want, and apply that to me. Make me the people who I'm pleasing. And so it's been really cool. Yesterday I made these, I saw this, I'm trying to cook more, because I'm just like also trying to like, as a hermit would, just rely less on like things outside of myself. So I envision like going out to eat a little less, and trying to make stuff on my own, and with Billy, of course. I made these like delicious cauliflower like fritters, like onions and all these spices and parsley. It was real good. Then I put some like yogurt on it, little yuzu hot sauce. Delicious. And like I love like, I have all of this time to cook and be and not rush around. And so I'm like really excited to, enjoy not having to rush around and, not having to, super delicious and healthy somehow. Yes, exactly. Kind of like our life in all the ways. Yeah, I'm trying to like, yeah, like not rely so much on like the meat industry, not like divest a little from like big box stuff, and like do stuff more like in my community and in my little sphere. Yeah. And yeah, it's been really, really awesome actually. Like over the past couple of months, I've been like shedding a lot of things that were like taking my attention away from like myself and my endeavors. And like I think now it's really cool to see like, oh my gosh, I've been asking for this and I like called it in. I see all of this like time to myself where I don't have to like devote it to someone else and what someone else wants me to do, some obligation. So it's great. So like we used to have, we didn't have a lot of things, but like even like the things that we do have, I try to give my best to, which I had to realize like why, like I like on many levels, one of the reasons certainly was I like people having a good, like high esteem of me, like thinking of me as someone who helps, who's helpful and generous with my time. But honestly, I was a little bit like, I kind of want to focus on like what I want to do. And like, so anyway, we're no longer doing breadlums. We'll have a story about that, um, whenever that's supposed to be told. Um, but, honestly, like, I'm like really glad now to have like the time. We like sometimes would do like an hour on like Sunday and an hour on Thursday on breadlums, and I was just like, I don't do anything this frequently that I'm not getting paid for. And it just started to feel like, I was doing things just because other people really wanted it and I didn't want to like disappoint them. But like, then I started to realize like, I don't know if other people are as concerned about disappointing me as like I am, of them. And so like, maybe that's a like, I mean, that absolutely is a sign that I'm supposed to, I'm maybe the only one who's responsible for not disappointing me, you know? And so like, even the last couple of meetings before, I like was reading my journal, and from back in that time, September or something, and I was just like, ugh, this is their dream. I'm like an aunt to this. This is their baby though, and like like I just feel like I'm devoting a lot of time to this. And it's not even the part that I like, which is like with the story building and like the character development and the world building. It was like, just I don't know. It just seemed like we were spinning our wheels, and that I was doing a lot of labor. And I was like, wait a minute, this is like not what I wanted. I didn't want like more work, and so it was wild. Just like cleared that off of our schedule. Now we have like at least like 2 to 4 hours free from that. Yeah, that's great. We're not babysitting anymore on Wednesdays, which like, and now we can like see the girls, they can come to us. I'm like, right, why am I always going to other people? I'm like going on other people's schedule. I'm making sure other people like know that I am here to support them. Like, I think they know. And I think what I got to do these days is make sure that like I am here to support me, like I'm the only one who's going to be with me forever. So I think will behoove me and ultimately the world for me to, really devote some serious time to getting to know myself and pleasing myself and making sure my needs and wants are catered to in the way that I do other people. I've done to other people. So I have so much experience with it. So it's been really fun and easy. And I'm like, damn, I'm great. I'm awesome. I've really been giving a lot of value to people. I'm really excited to see what I do with all of this, Yeah. It's 222, by the way. If you want to say your little affirmations and whatnot. Yeah. I think maybe you have an idea. I have an idea, certainly, maybe deep down, that like when I was growing up and thinking about the idea of being a hermit, I thought for me it would be like I could join like a nunnery, and like a real chill one that wasn't like, it wasn't like really super believing in it, but it was just like, yes, like women just like contemplating and like gardening and like not talking a whole bunch. Like heaven. I love that. That was great. Though I was like, I would like to, like, when I want to have sex, like, and like when I want to like perform, and kind of, I guess I wanted Sister Act, but with Billy somehow. And I kind of have that, like the best version of that, honestly, because I'm not trying to have all those white women in my house. If I'm honest, I'm not trying to be the one, like, Dolores Van Cartier-esque black woman in a nunnery full of white women. Just, you know. So this is the best of both worlds. Um, hmm. Sorry, I'm just trying to fasten this so it stays a little better. Um, yeah, because I've been, you know, looking through the world. Billy says that was her name. Her name was Dolores Van Cartier. Um, yeah, I thought like a cool album name would be Dolores Van Cartier, quarter of a mil, dead or alive. That's what like her boyfriend, who I think is like Joe Pesci or something, whoever her mobster boyfriend is, when he puts a hit out on her. That's what he says. I'm like, I don't know why, but I love that, and it sounds catchy. um, yeah. So like in my hermit era, in this era of getting to know Sheba, of Sheba pleasing, um, I like keep going back to what I'm used to, which is kind of like looking at other people. What do you mean what, Billy? Um, looking at other people and trying to uh like hope that they like what I'm putting out. Oh my god, okay. I have to see this movie again. I don't remember Joe. Oh my goodness, that's like I'm like getting turned on at the thought of getting to watch Sister Act with one of my favorite people, my favorite person. Um, I think it's Joe Pesci. I'm not great with old white men. It might not be. It might not be Joe Pesci. It might also be Cher's dad. Well, let's look it up. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Sister Act, 1992 film. She was what, 4 or 5 years old? Okay, I might be wrong. Jennifer Lewis is. Oh right, she's one of her. Was it this guy? Harvey. Oh, never mind. It was this guy. Sorry. Harvey Keitel. Which, I mean, he's kind of looks like Joe Pesci, right? Let's see. I'm trying to think of who Joe Pesci is. He's my cousin Vinny. Oh, that's okay. I need to see him a little younger. Same age, about. Oh, love him. Yeah, my cousin Vinny. So good. Okay. Mm, I'm sure. I think, yeah. I bet they're like from similar. I bet they have some similar. This one's from Brooklyn, New York, 84 years old. This one's from Newark, New Jersey, 80 years old. Like I don't want to stereotype about white men, but um, maybe I do. Maybe we should start doing that more. Actually, maybe all of the world's problems are because we're being a little too soft on white men. um, anyway, um, yeah, I realize, yeah, I spent a lot of time trying to like please other people, and now I just see like, why do I care so much about what y'all think? No offense, but like y'all have terrible taste in like people and like personal presentation and like standards for yourself and like lifestyle choices. And why am I spending so much time, trying to be like validated by other people? Like even if it looks different, me seeking validation looks and maybe feels different than it does for other people. Um, yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. People are always like looking at what I just like throw on, and they're like, oh, wow, so cool. I love that. It's probably because I'm great. So like, let me just get more used to that. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I. I've been. Let me show you my little IG. What I've been up to, because I feel like in my conception of a being a hermit, I can kind of like communicate with the outside. I can like kind of put my thoughts out there, and y'all can like perceive it like it's like a really cool, interesting documentary that you guys get to enjoy, and I get to enjoy you guys getting to enjoy it. It's like very great. And it's like, we're not supposed to like think about ourselves so like narcissistically. But who told us that? The psychopaths that are like running everything right now? Who cares what they think? We should do the opposite of whatever they tell us we should do, right? I think so. Okay, so like this has been my Instagram for the past like 2 months since October 7th. I'm just like, I know I immediately saw like what like propaganda war and misinformation campaign was going on by this like super well funded settler colony, and like funded by an empire. And I was just like, oh no, we gotta start like, I don't know, we gotta do everything different. We gotta do it all different. And I realized like, man, I had already back in September, I was like, I want to start like putting myself out there more, even if like no one, responds to it, or like no one sees it. I'm gonna just, I'm doing it for me. I'm gonna look back on this and be like, oh, thank goodness I like documented what was going on. Like I could like see myself. And so wild, on October 7th, like I got to like continue on with that. I had already taken like a step that I realized a lot of people might find is difficult, to just like be themselves publicly, and to like talk about the things they're interested in. I think we're like kind of we're really encouraged to kind of only be interested in like kind of a superficial couple things, like sports and like, maybe very briefly politics. Like you're either, like Democrat, and I'm like, oh gosh, they're this, but they're better than Trump. Or like you're Trump and like, I don't even know. We're probably not friends if you're Trump. But like, just like I see so many people who are just afraid of other people seeing them and like judging them negatively. So they just don't show themselves so that they can't, be judged negatively. And we can kind of think like, oh, they're mysterious. Oh, or they're just, we don't think about them. And I don't know. It's, I looked back just briefly at some of my old episodes, and my stuff, like the titles are like how to be known, and like the themes are very like, I was really trying to like get people to know me. I know that like the more we know about something, the more we like it, the more familiar we are with something. And so I was like, well, let me introduce myself and have everyone get to know me so they'll love me, and on the one hand, yeah, I think I already have that. I think everyone, love me. I have like such an abundance of love. It's so dope. And I think everyone kind of like allows me to like really be myself. Allows me. I don't know what that means actually. Maybe I give myself permission to be myself, and the world is like, okay. And now the world like kind of like is like, yeah, that's Sheba. and like other people who were kind of like themselves, um, eccentric, maybe, colorful, interesting. Um, they like make an association between me and that person, you know, not necessarily even based on something I've done, like just kind of like the vibe I get. I'm like, yes. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I was thinking about, my Megazord theory about like, we're taught that we're supposed to, each one of us is like a saber-toothed tiger or what was the other one? A T-Rex or a pterodactyl. Um, and we're supposed to like get through the world, like being the best, pterodactyl we can be, the best mastodon. And like, I think though, we're all supposed to like figure out what our unique thing is, what our unique interest is, and like develop it and like join together in a megazord with everyone else's thing. Mastodon, yes. It's probably not just because Billy's black, but um, yeah. Anyway, we're supposed to megazord, and I felt in the past like couple of months that I was just like, I've had this theory for a while, and so I'm just like, why isn't everyone megazording? This is obviously the time where we're supposed to like, rally our tools to us, and like the movie's starting. Um, and I was just like really sad to see so many people kind of just like, what? No, this is just what? This is just the thing. Okay, me and Billy, we have to finish that movie. It was called like Nothing Man or Everything Man or Blue Shirt Guy or something. Nobody Man, whatever. It was with like Ryan Reynolds, who I'm like, I think he's funny and like a pleasant actor. But I'm suspicious of actors now. Also, weak chin in a way that I'm just like, stop telling me this is like a sexy man. I don't know. Anyway, in that movie that I can't think of the name of, they're in like a video game, in like a game that like people can play, I'm pretty sure, but he's like an NPC, a non-playable character within it. And he realizes, he like puts on these glasses or something, and he's able to like see, like, I don't even remember, but he just like becomes aware that he's in this game, and that like he is able to, like, I think every day he like dies in like a him and his friend, like he goes to the bank and like the bank gets robbed, and like he often gets killed, or someone does, because it's like that's just a side quest or whatever in this larger game. And he figures out he can, he can do something different. And he's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And he tries to tell his friends. That's the first thing he does. He goes to his friends. He's like, we can actually just like, we don't have to get shot in the head. We can do something else. And he tries to like show him. He's like, look, like nothing's gonna happen. Like I can just whatever. And his friend is just like, no, sorry, he's on the floor like during the bank robbery, like because he told him to get down, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. And like he's got to leave him behind, Anyway, we didn't finish that movie actually, so I don't know how it ends. I assume how I would like it to end is that his friend, like through seeing Ryan Reynolds go off on his hero journey, reluctantly leave his friends behind, like the friend realizes that like, oh wait, he's right, and like I gotta try, and I think I'll be okay, and that like it changes the whole thing somehow. It becomes the real world or something. I don't know. Anyway, taking that back to this reality. Yeah, I saw myself like trying to like be like, everyone wake up. Come on. Oh my gosh. This is what's happening. It's kind of hard to tell, but like, let me translate it for you. I'm like, come on, we got to go. Grab your stuff. And everyone was like, no, like, calm down, you know, no, like, we don't panic. It's never the time to panic, you know. And I was just like, I'm a subject matter expert on what's going on. I think, like, listen to me right now. What's the point of me gaining all of this knowledge if for people not to, like, you know, listen to me when I use it? But then I realized, you know, I don't think it's my task to like drag people along kicking and screaming. I think it's my job to be a tree and to just be and to be misunderstood and for people to come to me and, you know, yeah, it's up to me to like not make myself smaller in order to like, you know, come down to other people's level, to be in their understanding, you know, to like do what they think we're supposed to do to keep ourselves safe and happy. Yeah, I can just, yeah. So anyway, like I assume Ryan Reynolds in the movie has to do, you gotta go on your hero journey alone. You know, it might be your journey, and your loved ones have another journey, and maybe their journey is contingent on you going on your journey alone and showing everyone that like the water is fine and you're still going to be able to come back and or meet people in different places, like meet up with them later, and they're still gonna love you. I realize also, like, you know, our culture, Americans, like, you know, I think we have this idea of at the holidays, you know, there's always like the racist uncle or like the or someone who's like, you know, creepy, like sexually inappropriate with people. And that's just, you know, you don't wear shorts around him and you just, you know, kind of limit, like, okay, it's only one day. And like, I don't know, we like force ourselves to be around people who are like not good for us. We tell ourselves that like people who don't have our best interests at heart and are certainly not making themselves smaller for us, you are expected to make yourself smaller for those people. I'm like, I'm not a racist uncle. I'm not going to be sexually inappropriate with anyone. So I can, at the very least, expect that other people are going to allow me to be myself, come to them when I want to, let them come to me if they want to, and if I want them to. And they're going to love it. They're going to be like, you know, really grateful for the privilege. Yeah. And so, yeah, yeah. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna watch this back after. Oh, I watched last week's, and oh my god, it's so good. I'm so freaking clever, and like I'm really proud of myself for, you know, making myself uncomfortable. I was saying that like I kind of am slow to watch my stuff back, and and then I'm like, wait, if I can't watch it, I can't expect other people to watch it even once, you know? Like, if I can't watch it over and over again, I definitely can't expect other people to. So, like, that is part of the Sheba pleasing, the getting to know her. So I'm going to watch that back. Another thing that, like, I found that I'm a little loath to do, I don't watch a lot of, I don't watch other comedians. One, because I just know how these industries work, and it's mostly a bunch of dudes, like a bunch of rich white men, you know, being like, I like this person, and so then they like you know, artificially like inflate them and say that they're more valuable than they're worth. And so I'm like real suspicious of what we've been told to think of as comedy. But I think I know I'm good at like taking what I need of something and like leaving the rest. So I think I definitely want to. I gotta finish that. We like started that George Carlin documentary like like years ago, I want to say. Um, and so I would like to finish that because I think we were only on like the first hour. So I want to finish that. I'm like really good at learning from other people's like mistakes or other people's lives and seeing how I can like, use that to help me. So I want to check that out and like a couple of other things, a couple of other clips, because I'm actually going to be starting a new show on at least this week. It's going to be on Thursday, January 11th, 111. It's called Crowd Work. Work, 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 work. Yeah, and it's going to be like this, except more like, comedy club feeling. And I'm going to be, just workshopping some stuff that I've been thinking of, some comedy sets and trains of thought that I've been thinking. Crowd work. But, it's in front of my favorite audience, moi and Billy. And yeah, because I was like, I want to have I want more freedom than the typical open mic setup allows. And so I'm like, wait, what's the point of like being brilliant and having this brilliant husband if not to like create the perfect world and most nurturing environment for us to like incubate our ideas, in a safe, completely controlled environment, and I think that it's live still will give it the element of like, all right, you just gotta go, the camera's on, the lights are on. This is when you come alive, sheeps. And so yeah, I'm gonna be practicing some stuff. And I think that'll be really cool. So on thank you, B. It's gonna be really great. With Billy on my side, what can't I do? Yeah, it's gonna be a really freaking cool look. I'm really excited, and yeah, like this is perfect. This is like little Sheba dreaming of her own, like I feel like I spent a lot of time in my head as a child. That's like kind of where I felt safe. I feel like I didn't have a lot of privacy. I slept in the same room with my sister, and we only had one car, and it was just very like I just felt like everyone could always like see me, and so like in my head was the only place I could kind of like be myself. And yeah, it's just been really interesting, like as an adult, to be able to, I don't know, give little Sheba a space to still be like, to have like privacy, but like be seen. It's great. It's beautiful. I freaking love it. Let's see, what do we got here? Crystal ball. Oh, am I stuck? Am I frozen for you guys? Man, good thing I just always serve face, so it doesn't even matter. Like that's actually a pretty. Okay, that was nice. That wasn't bad. Like I don't hate where that got paused on. It could have been like. Anyway, that still would have been hot. Okay, so my visions. What am I seeing? Oh my goodness. I mean, everything's looking brighter, as you can see, obviously. And yeah, okay, yeah, I was frozen. But still serving face, I'm sure. So yeah, I think this, I see it. this all of the stuff we're doing, but crowd work, I think it's going to be really awesome. It's going to pay off in spades. And January 11th is a new moon, first new moon of the new year. It feels like a very auspicious kind of day to start things. And yeah, it's going to go really good. I'm very excited. And yeah, what do I also see? Oh, Billy Bunton is probably about to bless the world with some like really powerful sonic messages, and musical healing. So looks like we're all in for a pretty lucky, bountiful week. And also, even clearer than last week, I see a free Palestine. I see the fall of the settler colony of Israel. So, a lot of white people gonna be going back to Europe. So to face their fears, though, they're gonna be good. Y'all gonna be good. It's okay. We get through this. So, yeah. Keep speaking up about that, by the way. If you're not good at speaking on speaking publicly, please at least be like calling your reps for a ceasefire. The 5 Calls app is excellent. And if you're not doing that, even that, but also, make sure you're learning about this stuff. It's actually like very interesting. It's just teaching me more about like how connected we all are, and like giving me insights into how this is gonna go. That's why the vision's so clear. You boobs, but nah, whatever. Come to it when you come to it. This is my journey. So near my final thoughts. Let's say, what do we have summing up? All right, in my hermit era, yeah, we are Sheba pleasing. We are being a tree. We are channeling trees. The right, life will come to us, and like, if the wrong stuff comes, we're just gonna be like, truly, we're gonna be that meme of Homer Simpson, just like going back into a bush. We are that Alicia Cara song here. We are just like, why? What am I doing here right now? I just want to go home. So, yeah. Right. So I'm gonna be disappointing people, but pleasing Sheba. Also, maybe I won't even. Oh, Billy thought I was frozen. Acting. Thank you. Very powerful. Yeah, and so like I am very good at acting, but I'm tired. Now I just want to be me. Now I'm gonna see what that performance looks like, and I think y'all are gonna love it. Honestly, you might not get it, but you're gonna love it. So, yeah. All right. Love you guys. We got to change that ticker on the top. The judge will respond. I love it. Like, we are like prolific creators, and just like, that's another thing. We are going to do that. Judge Sheba is also going to be a great show that we're going to bring into this reality. But I'm not trying to judge you hoes anymore right now. Like, y'all know my judgment. So, so yeah, I don't think that's gonna help right now. So, but in the future, we'll see. That's so funny. I'm seeing the ticker. I love it. The judge will respond. It's also true though. You can just change judge to queen, and then it'll be same vibe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me go main screen. Everything is made up. Okay? Could you hear me okay? Everything's made up. So we can just like make it up differently. All right? So stop taking everything so seriously. Take up space, make a scene, and put your forehead against your screen real quick. Love you. See you soon. Everything's made up. Don't you forget it. All right? See ya. Love you. Free Palestine. Bye.